Yes, sir.
Just for clarification, so that's for enrichment at Center Road School?
No.
That would be, I'm sorry,
Good.
I apologize. We run one summer school program at Maple Street School, and we do provide busing. It's been remedial, but we were looking to supply possible programs for all students this summer, and so Mr. DeBellis has been developing an enrichment program, asking teachers to do the World of Water over a week or something like that. So, so different things that other students could take as well.
But that's the one that's not open to all students?
That's for all students, right?
All
The current program that we have is a remedial program, and students are invited to go to that.
Right.
But the board wanted to extend up opportunities for all students, and so he's looking to add the enrichment programs, and he asked for $28,000 to do that for staff and supplies, so that we could advertise that different teachers were going to put on different programs, perhaps a week at a time. He's still in the formulation stages of that, but that way all students would be able to take summer enrichment, remediation, or both.
4 days a week for 4 weeks?
That's correct.
Thank you. Mr. Picard, did you have something you wish to add?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the update on the budget as it currently stands now, we're looking at a $3,461,720 increase over the current fiscal year, which represents a 7.18% increase.
What is the
$3,461,720, or a 7.18% increase over the current fiscal year's budget.
Michael, could you give it to me in terms of 51 million, what?
Sure. So the total budget, Mr. Chairman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the total for the budget request as it stands at this moment is $51,642,717.
Thank you.
717.
Ms. Starr.
Just a clarification question, please, at the Rockville High School Cost Center, 51113, there's a BOE 20% salary adjustment. Can you just tell me what that is?
Our vocational agricultural teachers are 12-month teachers. They work all summer long, they take care of the animals, they do all kinds of things. All the BOE programs in the state are 12-month.
Other discussion or action? Ms. Starr.
The summer hours for secretarial support in the elementary schools, is that in any way tied to the summer school that you suggested, or are those hours that are always in the budget?
No, and the summer school money does include clerical support for the summer school. This is for extra, and you can see there were different amounts for the different schools that were requested in terms of an increase in extra summer hours. And for the most part, it is registering students or sending records to another school, meeting with parents, and doing all of that. There's an incredible amount of clerical work that is involved in that. And we have a somewhat of a transient population from one school to the other, and in and out of the district as well, but even from one school to the other. So that supports all of that.
Those aren't 12-month positions?
No, they're not. They're 10-month. Schools have 10-month positions.
There are no 12-month?
There are 12-month positions in this building, and there may be a few others in the district. I couldn't name them all for you, but the school secretaries at the elementary level are all 10-month positions.
Other discussion, action? Ms. Starr.
Just a clarification again, in this central account, cost center, central administration, I'm sorry, 51151 is defined as parents for class sizes that exceed board policy. Apportioned by the superintendent only. Are we currently using dollars, and how do you determine that? Where is it used?
We're currently, Mrs. Morasso would better answer this, and my understanding is it has not been used for years. But we're currently not, and the board does have a set of guidelines for class sizes. And if that is exceeded, there are conversations with the teacher. We do have actually 3 relatively large grade 5 classrooms at Center Road School. And the request from those teachers was tables and chairs as opposed to desks, as opposed to another adult body in the room. They felt the students were independent and able to work without another adult body in the room. Mrs. Morasso, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
That's correct. We have not had to access that funding this year for class size overages.
Other discussion or action? Mr. Percy?
I'd like to make a motion to reduce account 56261. It's automotive fuel. It's the diesel account by $15,000.
It's a motion by Mr. Percy to reduce 56261, the diesel fuel account, by $15,000. Is there a second? Ms. Sarn?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there discussion on that motion? Mr. Kemp?
Kyle, I'm just not there. Which section is it in?
Budget summary. Are you looking under the white pages or I'm on the yellow pages? So
Well,
it's right at the top of page 6 of the budget summary report. Budget summary report, red tab. Top of page 6, top line item.
56261?
56261. Currently an increase of $36,850.
Yep.
okay, and so you're going back to 3 years prior history? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
So there's requested increase in that account of $36,850 currently, and Mr. Percy is reducing that by $15,000. This is his motion. Mr. Kemp?
Are you taking a calculated risk, or are you aware of it?
Well, we are going to be going out to consortium to get a diesel price. So there is a little bit of a risk there, but...
And I would ask Mr. Picaro, do you want to weigh in on that risk?
To you, Mr. Chairman, I believe it's an acceptable risk. As Mr. Percy said, we are going through consortium bid process as we do every year. This line item represents 80,000 gallons of diesel fuel solely for our bus transportation purposes. We were able to lock in a phenomenal rate this fiscal year. We do not know exactly what we're going to get next year. We just have to be extra aggressive in ensuring we get that rate.
Thank you. Mr. Percy?
Also on top of that, which Mr. Picaro might be able to back me up on, we got a fuel credit from the bus company this year, and we only expected, I think, 12,000, and we ended up getting 32,000 back in the current fiscal year. So they're using their buses. I mean, I know that's money spent, but it's not at the same time.
That's correct.
Thank you. Other discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to call that motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor to reduce 56261 by $15,000? Unanimous. Ms. Sarn?
Based on all the reductions we've made, I'd like the board to, for the purpose of discussion, move to add 2 FTEs to the budget in terms of math interventionists for the elementary schools.
So that would be a $68,000 plus or minus times 2 increase. $138,000 increase is what you'd like to see. So your motion is for increase $138,000 for the purposes of math interventionist. And do I have a second on that motion? Mr. Percy?
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Sarn and a second to add $138,000 back for 2 FTEs to help with the math intervention. Is there any discussion on that motion, Ms. Sarno?
I think it's a pretty strong argument that when the administrators were asked if they could have something that they didn't get, what would it be? And unanimously they said a math interventionist. And at Skinner Road School, where they do have one, when one was added to their staff, their math scores improved. So I think the proof is in the dollars spent. And if we're going to do a budget that reflects student needs, then we should certainly include math intervention.
Thank you. Other discussion, Mr. Kemp?
I'm not opposed to doing so. I don't feel I'm prepared to support it at this time. I'm not convinced that we are going to be able to implement full-day kindergarten to the extent that we're hoping to at this stage in the budget deliberations. And it's for that reason I feel it's a bit premature to support this at this time. I really don't want to vote against it or see a vote turn it down. I think we're a long way away from where we've been targeted to get to, and that doesn't mean we're going to get there, but we're still at a 7.18% increase, roughly, at 51,600,000, and we have some hard decisions to make. Whether or not we're going to be able to achieve all-day kindergarten now, or even in a phased-in mode. That's, you know, it's still in our budget. But if we don't get the council and the potential referendum approval of numbers we're looking for, we're going to be in a difficult position to implement all-day kindergarten. And I would almost rather sacrifice the math interventionists or other additional staff at this point in order to save all-day kindergarten.
Other discussion? Gonna wait on, just want to make sure everybody else has a chance. Mrs. Fisher.
I just, I do believe Skinner Road has one, but I don't see them in the budget, so could someone show me where that
That's
is?
why I only offered 2 or 3.
No, I understand, I just don't see Skinner Road's in here.
Carol Chadwick,
Yeah, but
she's listed in staff, she's a certified staff member.
She's .3 though, right?
She's half-time, that's correct.
She's listed here as .3, where's the other?
It's probably Title I.
Oh, I see.
Ms.
Okay,
Moras
yeah.
is not in her
Listed
set.
as
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other discussion? Okay, Ms. Sarn, you have the floor. Second time.
Sorry.
Nope, no, you're good.
I don't follow Mr. Kemp's thinking into everything seems to be coming back to whether we can have all-day kindergarten or not. And my concern is putting together a budget that addresses student needs and staff needs. So I don't feel that I need to always be making a trade-off, that what we're trying to establish is a budget that takes care of what Vernon's children need. And I understand, Mr. Kemp, that you would have me be more fiscally responsible, but right now, that decision is down the road to be made. Our charge now is to develop a budget that we believe takes care of the best interest of the kids with some fiscal responsibility, but in years past, fiscal responsibility has cost the town forward movement, and that's my opinion, why we are in this position we're in of being in the bottom 30. So fiscal responsibility is not my first priority right now. It's establishing a budget that takes care of educational needs.